Indiana University Bloomington is a public research university located in Bloomington, Indiana, United States. With over 40,000 students, AU Bloomington is the flagship institution of the Indiana University system and its largest university. It is a member of the Association of American Universities and has numerous schools and programs that comprise part of U, including the Jacobs School of Music, the U School of Informatics and Computing, the Kelley School of Business, the School of Public Health, the School of Nursing, the School of Public and Environmental Affairs, the Maurer School of Law, the U School of Library and Information Science, and the U School of Education. With a fall 2014 total campus enrollment of 42,634 students, AU Bloomington is the largest university campus in the state. While 55.2% of the student body was from Indiana, students from 49 of the 50 states, Washington, D.C., and 165 foreign nations were also enrolled. The university is home to an extensive student life program, with about 17% of undergraduates joining the Greek system. Indiana athletic teams compete in Division I of the NCAA and are known as the Indiana Hoosiers. The university is a member of the Big Ten Conference. Among U Bloomington's many graduate-level programs are the Kelley School of Business, School of Education and Maurer School of Law. Indiana's law school has a program with a first-year team-based approach, a diversion from the typical legal education. Notable Indiana alumni include, but are not limited to, composer and songwriter Hoagy Carmichael, who penned "Georgia on My Mind," John Chambers, executive chairman and former CEO of Cisco Systems, and Mark Cuban, billionaire owner of the Dallas Mavericks. In terms of academics and other criteria, U Bloomington ranks in top 100 national universities in the United States and the top 50 public universities in the country. The school's sports teams are notorious competitors in the NCAA Division I Big Ten Conference, and, since Indiana University does not have a mascot, all teams are known simply as Hoosiers. There are more than 650 student organizations on campus, and more than 5,000 students go Greek in the school's large community of fraternities and sororities. History. Earlier years Indiana's state government incorporated and founded Indiana University in 1820 as the state seminary. Construction began in 1822. It was originally located at what is now called Seminary Square Park near the intersection of 2nd Street and College Avenue. The first professor was Baynard Rush Hall, a Presbyterian minister who taught all of the classes in 1825–27. He focused on Greek Latin. In the first year, he taught 12 students and was paid $250. Hall was a classicist who believed that the study of classical philosophy and languages formed the basis of the best education. The first class graduated in 1830. From 1820 to 1889 a legal political battle was fought by the school in Vincennes that claimed to be the legitimate state university. In 1829, Andrew Wiley became the first president, serving until his death in 1851. The name became Indiana College in 1829, and in 1838 the name finally became Indiana University. Wiley and David Maxwell, president of the Board of Trustees, were devout Presbyterians. They spoke of the non-sectarian status of the school, but generally hired fellow Presbyterians. Presidents and professors were expected to set a moral example for their charges. After 6 ministers in a row, the first non-clergyman to become president was the young biology professor David Starr Jordan in 1885. Jordan followed Baptist theologian Lemuel Moss, who resigned after a scandal broke regarding his involvement with a female professor. Jordan improved the university's finances and public image, doubled its enrollment, and instituted an elective system along the lines of his alma mater, Cornell University. Jordan became president of Stanford University in June 1891. Growth of the college was slow. In 1851, U had nearly 100 students and 7 professors. U admitted its first woman student, Sarah Park Morrison, in 1867, making U only the 4th public university to admit women on an equal basis with men. Morrison went on to become the first female professor at U in 1873. Mathematician Joseph Swain was IU's first Hoosier-born president, 1893 to 1902. He established Kirkwood Hall in 1894, a gymnasium for men in 1896, which later was named Assembly Hall, Kirkwood Observatory in 1900, and he began construction for Science Hall in 1901. During his presidency, student enrollment increased from 524 to 1,285. In 1883, U awarded its first Ph.D. and played its first intercollegiate sports, prefiguring the school's future status as a major research institution and a power in collegiate athletics. But another incident that year was of more immediate concern. The original campus in Seminary Square burned to the ground. The college was rebuilt between 1884 and 1908 at the far eastern edge of Bloomington. One challenge was that Bloomington's limited water supply was inadequate for its population of 12,000 and could not handle university expansion. The university commissioned a study that led to building a reservoir for its own use. In 1902, U enrolled 1,203 undergraduates. All but 65 were Hoosiers. There were 82 graduate students, including 10 from out of state. The curriculum emphasized the classics, as befitted a gentleman, and stood in contrast to the service-oriented curriculum at Purdue, which presented itself as of direct benefit to farmers, industrialists and businessmen. In 1960, the U student body elected Thomas Atkins, an African-American from Elkhart, Indiana, to the position of president of the student body. A throng of white students protested the result by parading around campus waving Confederate flags and allegedly blamed Atkins for victory on their bunch of beatniks. When the protesters approached the female dormitory on campus, they were apparently met with a barrage of cosmetic bottles, old shoes and other objects. Extension and regional campuses. The first extension office of U was opened in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1916. In 1921, the School of Music and the School of Commerce and Finance were opened. In the 1940s, Indiana University opened extension campuses in Kokomo and Fort Wayne. The controversial Kinsey Institute for Sexual Research was established in 1945. Campus. The Indiana University Bloomington campus of 1,933 acres includes abundant green space and historic buildings dating to the university's reconstruction in the late 19th century. In 2011, Travel Plus Leisure listed the university as one of the most beautiful college campuses in the United States. The campus rests on a bed of Indiana limestone, specifically Salem limestone and Harrodsburg limestone, with outcroppings of St. Louis limestone. The Jordan River is a stream flowing through the center of campus, a section of Bloomington's Clear Creek. It is named for David Starr Jordan, Darwinist, ichthyologist, and president of U and later Stanford University. The Works Progress Administration built much of the campus's core during the Great Depression. Many of the campus's buildings were built and most of its land acquired during the 1950s and 1960s, when first soldiers attending under the GI Bill and then the baby boom swelled the university's enrollment from 5,403 in 1940 to 30,368 in 1970. Some buildings on campus underwent similar expansion, as additions were constructed by building onto the outside of existing buildings. Exterior surfaces were incorporated into their new interiors, making this expansion clearly visible in the affected building's architecture. The chemistry and biology buildings serve as examples. where two of the interior walls of the latter's library are clearly constructed as limestone exteriors. The Bryan House is the traditional on-campus home of the university president. The 1979 movie Breaking Away was filmed on location in Bloomington and the U campus. It also featured a reenactment of the annual Little 500 bicycle race. The U campus also has trails that many use for biking and running. The trails in Bloomington and nearby areas total nearly 1,200 miles. Athletic facilities. Indiana University's athletic facilities are located on campus and are grouped in between East 17th Street, Dunn Street and the I-45 bypass. In the 17,000-seat Assembly Hall, there are 5 NCAA Men's Division I basketball championship banners on display. Cook Hall, Memorial Stadium, Mellencamp Pavilion, the Gladstein Fieldhouse, the U Tennis Center, the Billy Hayes Track and Bill Armstrong Stadium are all also located within the complex. Indiana Memorial Union. The 500,000-square-foot Indiana Memorial Union is the second largest student union in the United States. In addition to stores and restaurants, it features an 8-story student activities tower, a 186-room hotel, a 400-seat theater, a 5,000-square-foot alumni hall, 50,000 square feet of meeting space, and a bowling alley. The IMU houses an outstanding collection of Indiana art including artists from Brown County, the Hoosier Group, Richmond Group and others. Libraries. The Indiana University Bloomington Library System supports 24 libraries, consisting of more than 7.8 million books. The system was named the top American research library system in 2009 by the Association of College and Research Libraries. Herman B. Wells Library. IU's Herman B. Wells Library is the 13th largest university library in North America. Prior to a ceremony in June 2005 when it was renamed for IU's former president and chancellor, this building was simply called the Main Library. Built in 1969, the building contains 11 floors in the East Tower and 5 floors in the West Tower. The building also contains the Information Commons, a fully integrated technology center for learning and collaboration which attracts 82% of all undergraduate students. The library is also home to Indiana University Press. An oft-repeated urban legend holds that the library sinks over an inch every year because when it was built, engineers failed to take into account the weight of all the books that would occupy the building. A web page hosted on the indiana.edu domain debunks this myth, stating, among other things, that the building rests on a 94 feet thick limestone bedrock. Branch libraries. In addition to IU's main library, the Bloomington libraries support 24 additional libraries. Archives of African American Music and Culture, Archives of Traditional Music, Black Film Center, Archive, Business, SPEA Information Commons, Chemistry Library, Education Library, Fine Arts Library, GLBT Library, Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Center for Disability Information and Referral Library, Indiana Prevention Resource Center Library, U Libraries Moving Image Archive, Kinsey Institute Library, Law Library, Life Sciences Library, the Lilly Library, Neil Marshall Black Culture Center Library, Optometry Library, Ostrom Workshop Library, Residential Programs and Services Libraries, Sinor Research Institute for Inter-Asian Studies, Swain Hall Library, University Archives and Records Management, William and Gail Cook Music Library, Wiley House Museum, the Lilly Library. The Lilly Library is one of the largest rare book and manuscript libraries in the United States. Founded in 1960 with the collection of Josiah K. Lilly, Jr., of Eli Lilly and Company in Indianapolis, the library now contains approximately 400,000 rare books, 6.5 million manuscripts, and 100,000 pieces of sheet music. The library's holdings are particularly strong in British and American history and literature, religious texts, Latin Americana, medicine and science, food and drink, children's literature, fine printing and binding, popular music, medieval and Renaissance manuscripts, and early printing. Notable items in the library's collections include the New Testament of the Gutenberg Bible, a first-edition copy of the Book of Mormon, the first printed collection of Shakespeare's works, Audubon's Birds of America, one of 25 extant copies of the first printing of the Declaration of Independence, that was printed in Philadelphia on July 4, 1776. George Washington's letter accepting the presidency of the United States, Abraham Lincoln's desk from his law office, a leaf from the famous Abraham Lincoln, some book, c. 1824 to 1826, Lord Chesterfield's letters to his son, the manuscripts of Robert Burns's Auld Lang Syne, the Boxer Codex, M. Singer's The Playboy of the Western World, and J. M. Barrie's Peter Pan, and typescripts of many of Ian Fleming's James Bond novels. The library also owns the papers of Hollywood directors Orson Welles and John Ford, the poets Sylvia Plath and Ezra Pound, and authors Edith Wharton, Max Eastman and Upton Sinclair. In 2006, the library received a collection of 30,000 mechanical puzzles from Jerry Slocum. The collection will be on permanent display. Special permission is not required to use the collections, and the library has several exhibition galleries which are open to the public. Within the Lilly Library is the Ruth E. Adomate collection of miniature books, one of the world's largest. Among the collection are rare miniature books such as From Morn Till Eve, a miniature book that presents biblical quotations in a devotional form, with one phrase for each morning and evening of a month. The Online Computer Library Center had listed that, the only known copy as being in the collection of famed miniature book collector Ruth E. Adomate, which is now in the Lilly Library. The Fine Arts Library. The Fine Arts Library houses Indiana University's books and journals in the fields of the visual arts, art history, architecture, design and related disciplines, and supports the academic needs of the Henry Radford Hope School of Fine Arts and the Indiana University Department of Fine Arts. The collection comprises over 140,000 volumes and 322 periodicals, including collections of circulating slides and plates and a non-circulating collection of over 1,200 artists' books. IU's first fine arts library was established in the late 1930s as part of the departmental office on the second floor, east wing of the University Library, which was then located in Franklin Hall. In 1941, two important events occurred. Henry Radford Hope became chairman of the Fine Arts Department in the fall, and the Fine Arts Center was created by remodeling Mitchell Hall Annex. The Fine Arts Library moved into its current quarters inside the UArt Museum, designed by I.M. Pei in August 1981. UArt Museum. The UArt Museum was first established in 1941, with the later building being designed by the world-renowned architecture firm I.M. Pei and Partners. Completed in 1982, the museum collection of over 30,000 objects includes works by Claude Monet and Jackson Pollock. The museum has particular strengths in the art of Africa, Oceania, the Americas, ancient Greece and Rome, and early modernism, and its collections of works on paper. The UArt Museum is also ranked as one of the top 5 university art museums, along with Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, and Yale. Notable artists who have their work displayed there include Marcel Duchamp, Pablo Picasso and Henri Matisse.